Hey, creative commuter. We've just come off Easter weekend, and I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend. Whether you are a celebrator of Easter or not, I hope that it was a great weekend for you. Me and my husband Joey had a really lovely, relaxing weekend we got to see some family, we got to see the Easter bunny. We had some really good food and it was just so nice. I hope that your weekend was wonderful and that you're having a great week. Please stay tuned to the end of this episode for an exciting new addition to the podcast where I'll occasionally be featuring a spectacular creative human from the Creative Commute community on Facebook. This week is Casey Tayton, and you are going to love hearing what she's been up to. If you're not in the Creative Commute community on Facebook, be sure to join us there because we're doing all kinds of creative fun all the time. It is at facebook.com/groups/the creative commute. Join us in there and come have some fun. This week is our second week of spring cleaning week, and it's so much fun. So get in there and join us. Okay, so I got a little riled up about something this weekend. I have to admit to you, it was not in like an angry, thrashy, throw the table over sort of way, but enough to instigate me hopping onto Instagram, and I started pulpit smashing just a little bit, just a teeny bit. You see, on Saturday alone, three people spoke three words that can instantly send me into a butter churn. One was a total stranger, one was a longtime acquaintance, and the last was someone I have known since birth. The three words that each of these people said to me were, I'm not creative. I'm not creative. Now, I can't totally vouch for the stranger, although with a little prodding, I was able to help her see the light. I hope you're listening, new friend. But the two people I've known for a while, I can totally vouch that they are two very, very creative individuals. Which brings up this question that I've been asking myself ever since. Why do so many people say this about themselves? Why do so many people feel like a creative imposter? Why? Why is this a thing? So, if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. So, you feel like you're showing up to something and you aren't fully capable of doing it. It's you are the imposter. It people say that it disproportionately affects high achieving people who find it difficult to accept their own accomplishments. And now there's actually a lot of controversy over whether imposter syndrome is actually a real thing, if it's some symptom of other systematic or bias related problems, particularly with women and people of color. And, I totally think that those are great challenges on the topic and things that deserve to be talked about. And I'm actually really fascinated with and interested in, but we are not diving into that particular question in this episode. What I really want to talk about is why so many people feel like they're an imposter when it comes to creativity. Now, according to Valerie Young, who knows a lot about imposter syndrome, she's an internationally recognized expert and an author on the topic. She says the only way to stop feeling like an imposter is to stop thinking like an imposter. My goal for this episode, then, is for you to reconsider the way you think about your own creative, I put that in air quotes, abilities. Rethink about the way that you think about your creativity. So, first, let's actually go back to what creativity is in the first place. There are lots of definitions of creativity, but my personal favorite, is that creativity happens when two disparate thoughts or ideas combine to form something new. So two things come together and they give birth to something new, a new thought, a new idea, a new thing. That is the act of creativity. Now, I don't think there's a perfect definition of creativity. That is mine. That's my personal favorite, but I would love to hear yours. I totally encourage you to go Google creativity, look at all of these different definitions that are out there and form your own thoughts or ideas on this. And you can totally actually share it with me. You can send me an email to creativecommutegen@gmail.com. Find me on Instagram at chromaticgen, or find me on Facebook, anywhere, and share what your definition of creativity is. I would love to hear it. Share it in our community, whatever it is, and let me know what is your definition of creativity. However, what I'm saying is that when you take creativity down to its very simplest form, it may change the way you look at it. It's not a thing, but an act. And that act is not always artistic. I totally put that in air quotes again. What makes human beings actually so unique is that we are the only beings on earth capable of making new connections between disparate ideas. We are the beings who are capable of creation, which makes you dot, 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 creative. You are creative. So, why do you have these feelings about creativity? What is causing so many people to utter these words? I'm not creative. What is causing these three words to come out of people's mouths? Well, okay, you could actually totally bust me on maybe that's 4 words, because I'm is actually 2 words put together. It's a conjunction. But I don't know. To you, I would say nay. And actually, is the act of creativity. You're taking I and am and you're bringing them together to form something new. The word I'm. I digress. Anyway, why do people say they're not creative? Why is this a thing that people say? Okay, well, because of lots of things, probably. Somebody told them they're not. They tried to make paper mache once and somebody made fun of it. Whatever it is, I would gesture, though, that the biggest challenge here is mostly rooted in a misunderstanding of what the word means in the first place, which is why that definition of creativity is so important. But what is really, really, really cool, though, is that you can change the way you think about it. You can change your definition right here, right now. You can change it. And when you do, it opens up your mind to what is possible for you in the realm of creativity. How might it change the way you see your own talents and abilities if you considered yourself to be creative? If you woke up in the morning and you thought, God damn, I'm a creative bitch, how would that change things for you? Maybe that's not what you think in the morning, but I don't know, might be kind of a fun way to start your day. You don't need to be a painter or a graphic designer to be creative, although you can be. They're certainly creative, but mathematicians are creative, scientists are creative. The trash man who finds himself a new, better, faster way to get his job done, his or her job done, is totally creative. But actually, even the designer or the painter can put themselves into the creative imposter's box by thinking, I'm only creative in this one way. This is the way that I am creative. This is not true. It is simply not true. I, for example, could have considered myself to only be creative at doing hair. I would never have changed my career to copywriting, which is what I do now. I would never have decided to start a podcast. I would not be talking to you right now. Those were creative urges that I personally followed. And you have those urges too, whatever it is. I encourage you, rather than listening to the imposter, listen to the urges. Tell the imposter to stand down and see where those little nudges take you. Embrace the idea that you are indeed a creative being. Try it. Say to yourself, I am creative. Speaking of your creativity, I know something that can help your imposter stand down. I've teamed up with Nameless Coffee, a local roaster right here in Wichita, Kansas, who partners with farmers in Guatemala to make the very best fair trade coffee that's ever graced my creative palate. Yes, every cup of creative fuel funds 3 families: mine, the good people at Nameless Coffee, and a farming family in Guatemala. Power your morning with your own fresh batch of creative fuel beans. Get them at creativecommute.com. Now, I am so excited for this next new segment. What this is someone in the Creative Commute community who is doing big, courageous, and creative things. And that is definitely Casey Taden. She is the founder of Little Moments, Big Dreams Celebrations, and she is out there just doing such amazing things in her community. And I'm so excited, Casey, to spotlight you and your mission to celebrate children who are going through a tough time. And what you do is throw parties with them in all kinds of amazing creative ways. I love seeing all of the different things that you're coming up with, but your goal of just bringing a smile to any child's face during a challenging time is just spectacular. And Casey was recently highlighted on a pretty prestigious local show for what she's doing. She's doing huge things, not only for people in the community, but helping to bring awareness to what she's doing and helping to just spread joy everywhere. And it's just so cool. Casey, hi.
Hi, thanks for having me, and thanks for all the kind words.
It's just the coolest thing, and I'm so excited to celebrate you. And I know that you would love to talk about the foundation and all the things that you're doing, but this call out, honestly, I'm going to make you squirm because it's about you. It's about what you are doing for yourself, what you're doing for your community, and it's just beautiful, and it has been a cool thing to watch throughout the year. And I hadn't previously known about it until we connected through the Creative Commute. And I was like, even though we went to high school together,
Yes.
but I was just like, this is just such a cool thing. So I want to talk about the amazing, courageous things you've done this year. And that's both for yourself and for your charity. So what is a big moment that happened for you in the past year?
Um, wow, sorry. So the first thing I'd say is I can't thank you enough for having your group, because when COVID started, yes, it changed a lot of people's lives, but it inspired me even more. Like, I have never thought of myself as like a creative person, and I have stepped out of my box and out of this little comfort zone um to just expand my visions, my heart, my goals, my dreams, like everything, all because of what you've done this year.
Oh my gosh,
So
you're gonna make me cry.
sorry. Sorry. I feel like you deserve so much credit of just I would tell you, I think I told you I'm not a creative person. And when you look at creativity and all the things that we have done, like the challenges you've thrown out there, it's like, oh my goodness, like there's truly amazing people out here, and they are making me think in different ways I would have never done.
Oh my gosh,
So
I love that. And I have to challenge you because you are so creative. And I think that that's one of my biggest missions with the Creative Commute is to help people see your own creativity, because you're so stinking creative. Those things that you're doing, your entire, do you call it a foundation or a charity, Casey?
a foundation, well, wait, I call it actually just like an organization.
Okay.
So just a local organization. Yeah.
Well, your organization, the entire thing is founded on a creative idea. That is a creative idea, to use this means of celebration to help bring joy to others. Like, that is a creative idea. Like it 100% is. And the more you can lean into that, the more you can really bring it out. So that's one of my goals. And I love that you're maybe starting to see it in yourself. I hope, the creativity, because you are a super creative human. So I'm sorry to argue with you on that, but
Thanks.
I'm going to challenge you.
A year ago, I would not be doing this. Like, I would not be sitting in front of a computer talking to people. Like, it was just out of my comfort zone. So, I mean, this is huge. The news interview was huge. And those are just some really big things that I've done in my life the last year. And it's been amazing.
That's that's amazing. It's so cool to see, and you're bringing awareness for something that's so big, but I love hearing that it's helping you too, like what you're getting out there and doing is it's helping to help you grow in some way as well.
It is. I started, um, actually, you connected me with Rachel, and just with other people challenging me, I started doing yoga and meditation and like trusting my own intuition. Like, those things are huge, and it's been amazing to like look in myself and like, what do I like? Why do I like that? And yeah, so sorry.
It's so important. No, don't apologize. This is awesome. So Rachel Chamley was a podcast guest at the very beginning of the Creative Commute podcast, and it's one of the most listened to episodes. So if you haven't listened to that episode, I highly suggest you go and check it out, because Casey and I have both become such good friends with her in the past year, and she is an amazing human being. Okay, so Casey, what are you looking forward to?
Um, as far as like my own personal goals, sorry, I get nervous still when I talk. I just read this quote to myself that said, the move that you're afraid to make could be the one that changes everything. And I was like, I'm going to get on this call with Jen and do this because the fear. So I am looking forward to, just trusting my own self, finding that, going with that inner confidence and getting out there more, being, stop letting fear control my life. So
That's
it's huge.
we're about to say the same thing. I was about to say that's huge. That is huge. Even just that sounds like such that both sounds scary and small. It's like it's just like to face the fear, but it feels monstrous, and just making the decision that you're going to do it is so big. And I just can't wait to see where everything goes for you. I just know it's going to be huge, and it already is. It already is. You're already doing big things. Okay, final question. What is your favorite activity to fuel your creativity?
So if I could be out, I love being outdoors. I love the summer, the sun. If we're at the lake, I love to we surf as a family behind my dad's boat. So I love
Fun.
surfing. But I also just love watching soccer, laying out at the soccer fields and watching kids kick a ball. Those are the just being outside in nature. And this year has truly changed everything, like even the way I walk in the grass or look at the flowers. Like, it's crazy to say at 37, I'm now seeing life completely different.
That's beautiful. And we forget how everything around us is an act of creation, and being out there in nature, you're seeing creation happen and unfold before your eyes. And even an activity like sitting back and watching soccer is almost meditative for some people, especially as a ex soccer player yourself.
Yes. Yes. It's just being out there, the feels that come with it and everything, just setting out there is just like it's just so calming to me to just sit and watch, and um it brings the inner child out in you of when I was a kid and did it, and I love it.
So important. And
So
that opens up space for your creativity and for goodness to flow in when you're in that space of just calm and joy.
it does. Yes.
Well, thank you, Casey. So thank you so much. First of all, I was so nervous to ask Casey to be our first creative commuter call out, and she was so kind and willing to come and faced your own fear of coming and doing this video interview. And I'm so proud. Proud isn't even the right word. I'm just so excited for you and everything that's coming. So keep up the amazing work.
Thank you. I thank you for challenging me to do this because I was nervous, but my huge goal for this year is to connect the parents with my parties, and we're going to be doing some community events that I'm going to have to be speaking at, and just yeah, connecting everybody. So this is like stepping on, I'm beating the fear.
That's
So
amazing.
thank you for having me, and thank you for all the kind words.
I loved that. I love the creative commuter call out. I hope you will join us in our community on Facebook where you can meet more people like Casey. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, or if you know someone who you think the idea of the creative imposter would resonate with, please, please share this episode with them. Who knows if it could change the course of their day, their week, their month, or even their life. If you love the Creative Commute podcast, and if you listen on iTunes, please leave a review. You can do that very simply by leaving it right on iTunes or by going to ratethispodcast.com/thecreativecommute. Thank you again for listening, and keep getting creative AF out there, people. I'll see you next time. Bye.